Yes, I think we need to find something that addresses most probably more directly the degenerative aspect of the disease, and it shows perhaps how much we can do with an effective immunomodulator in this phase of the disease. We don't know yet if it has also an immunologic effect in the CNS. It has an access to the CNS, but we don't know if its mode of action does also modulate the immune response in the CNS. There are indications for that, and then there are also indications that it has a direct effect on CNS cells like oligodendrocytes, but I think we need to understand that more also with longer term observation. I think it's really good news because there was a therapeutic, despair in some way. People usually avoided even making the diagnosis, even if they were convinced that it is secondary progressive MS, because they didn't have a handle to provide something and provide a treatment. And now, at least with that treatment, and on the other side with a positive study with ocrelizumab, the anti-CD20 antibody, you have two options that cover the spectrum also. Not fulfilling all our wishes, of course, but this is certainly something more. I think it's similar to the situation we had with the platform drugs in relapsing MS 20 years ago. I think an effect in relapsing remitting effect would be relapsing remitting MS. I would expect it to be found because the phase 2 study, proof of concept study, was in relapsing remitting MS, showed clear-cut and similar effects, at least to those with fingolimod. So I wouldn't doubt that it could be used also for relapsing MS if it will be approved for that, and this is a more regulatory and perhaps also commercial issue, but mode of action. Regarding PPMS, that's interesting because the similar compound, fingolimod, did not show an effect. We published that earlier this year in the INFORM study. And we have to find out why this is the case, and if this still leaves a window of opportunity for this compound to be also effective in primary progressive MS. I think we need further longer observation. We have to analyze the data of this study, which is a wealth of information, because we did also a very thorough clinical examination and several accompanying studies, and we will try to understand better what happened, how we could better define the population. We have enough patients to do thorough additional subgroup analysis, and I think this will inform the field not only for this specific drug but for better understanding of secondary progressive MS. I think it's positive, but on the other side it also shows the limitation of this approach, be it now with a monoclonal antibody or with an S1P receptor modulator, and that we need to keep going and to find new ways to face this phase of the disease. Of course, there is improvement in different fields, also in the methodology of clinical studies, and this contributes to that, and it's always a kind of discontinuous development, but I think the last few years have shown a nearly exponential increase also in options in drugs that have been made available also on the market and newly developing in different areas. So I expect that this will be that this momentum will be kept, and that we will have more and more progress in this area. I think this is really a very satisfying issue, and it's not my second. I've been here from the first ECTRIMS conference, and have seen also the development of the conference, how it is improving in quality, that we know more, we get more new insights into that, and not only the number of participants, which the lowest point was perhaps 40 to 100 patients, and now is more than I think 9,000 this time. There are other studies ongoing, and most probably not completed for the next ECTRIMS, but there will be certainly interesting results from our group, from the international collaboration that is increasingly important in this area.